Are you sick of having your rockets do what seem like a random amount of damage? Tired of thinking you're about to finish off that enemy tank, only to have your RPG do 100 damage to their weak spot? Well, this is how vehicle damage works in Battlefield 6. Just like in all other Battlefield games before 6, ground vehicles seem to have 3 levels of armor. Front armor is the strongest, and throwing your firepower at this is essentially a waste, especially in Battlefield 6. Side armor is a good middle ground. On average, this is where you'll be hitting most of your shots. Rear armor is where you really want your rockets and shells to be hitting for that massive damage. In Battlefield 6 especially, rear shot damage is absolutely massive and very worth waiting and aiming for. A quick example is that you can kill a main battle tank or an IFV with 2 RPG shots to the rear. But what if I told you that there is a 4th armor spot in Battlefield 6? Vehicles also take rear armor damage if you hit them from above. Get above a main battle tank and watch their health absolutely melt as your rockets come down like thunder sent by Almighty Zeus himself. This lets you do goofy shit like this. Yes, that was a clip of me using a guided missile to one-shot an IFV, and I'll show you how to do this at the end of the video. Wait, I followed Marzipan Dine's guide to vehicle damage. I aimed for the rear and I didn't do as much damage as he did. He must be cheating. Slow down, buddy. There's more to vehicle damage than these damage zones. Battlefield 6 actually went out of its way to make the damage model in vehicles quite a bit more complicated, and this is where it's causing myself and others to get frustrated, thinking that vehicle damage is inconsistent. So here's how it is. If you want to do the most damage, then you need to fire your shots perpendicular to the armor. That's at 90 degrees for all of my fellow math nerds. If you shoot your rounds so that it hits the vehicle at any other angle, you'll be doing suboptimal damage. I think this is DICE's way of simulating penetration. AT weapons are designed to hit the target head on. Hitting at other angles can cause your weapon to be ineffective. This feature has been frustrating me and other players massively because it's more complex than what we are used to and it's not really explained anywhere. This feature means you need to line up your shots much more carefully in order to get the most out of your rounds. Hell, even knowing this feature, you'll get a massive advantage compared to other players who have no idea about this. This will help you during tank fights, when you're trying to counter enemy armor in aircraft, and especially so you don't waste your precious RPG rounds. You can also use this valuable bit of information when you're driving vehicles. Did you just take an RPG directly perpendicular to the side? Rotate your chassis around towards the infantry so that the follow-up round either hits the side armor at an angle for reduced damage or the front armor at an angle for massive reduced damage. Trust me, knowing this is a game changer for AT and tank drivers alike. Before I end the video, I want to just clarify the following for anyone who doesn't know. The MBT law, which is the first rocket launcher that you start the game with, cannot be used to aim at weak spot damage because it always auto locks and performs a top-down attack, and hence it's always doing its maximum damage. So if you want to hit these big damage numbers, you're going to need to swap to the RPG or the M136 AT launcher if you're ever able to actually unlock it. It's hard to say whether I like this new feature or not. On one hand, it's nice to have some variety in the damage numbers beyond you hit spot 1, 2 or 3. But at the same time, it doesn't feel good to whiff an RPG shot on a hit that practically does front armor damage just because of the angle. Like, watch this situation here. I pull off a very difficult to hit rear shot, but due to the angle, it only hits for 257. I follow it up with a much easier to hit side shot for 333. To me, that seems wrong. Like, the ranges for these damage numbers is too reduced at wide angles. To put it a different way, I think that a critical rear shot, even at a wide angle, should always deal more damage than a perpendicular side shot. What do you think? If you've enjoyed the content, then please hit like and subscribe for more. We're creeping up to 10,000 subs and I'm so excited to hit it. What's that? I'm supposed to tell them what? Oh, of course, the IFV guided missile trick. You can lock onto your target, then throw your aim up to arc the missile up. This way you can try to have it land on top of them for maximum weak spot damage. Just be careful about doing this when they're too close. Your missile will overshoot them and you'll look like an absolute idiot. It's also useful for flicking shots around cover. Anyway, bye!